Yeah, you know what? You give me homework with fights. I want to give you homework with Counter-Strike matches.
Yeah, get into it because when I was watching the documentary on Shroud, because that was the game he played, he was into Counter Strike, right?
He was a pro Counter-Strike player for C9. Yes.
Yeah, I was watching. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, man. Watching that doc, I was just like fully invested. I'm like, I knew they weren't gonna win, but I wanted them to win, dude.
He won one major with him,
Yeah.
and that was kind of a monumentous moment in his career. He retired pretty much right after.
I mean, why not? You just go out on top.
Like, well, they knew that they weren't the best. They knew they weren't the best team, and you know he wasn't gonna. He didn't want to compete. He was making more money streaming and such. So I don't blame him.
Dude, is there a way to jump and from high distances without losing a great deal of energy? Did you figure it out yet?
Yeah, right before you hit the ground, you jump again.
Okay.
There are some Counter-Strike games that are compelling. You know, I don't know how much you know about Counter-Strike, probably none. But
Nothing.
Counter-Strike, I think, has the best viewing experience for casual fans and people who don't know anything about the game.
I know that Linus and a few other YouTubers use it as a benchmark constantly.
It's a super easy game to run.
Yeah, why did they use it?
Potato.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, okay, I'm gonna send you a full Counter-Strike match, a competitive match to watch, and then on Talking with a Dad, we'll go over it.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah, actually.
No!
Nailed it!
After the last fighting podcast we did, you sent me a fight to watch.
Yeah, you know why I want to go deep into it, man? It's because, first of all, man, what'd you think about that idiot Bisping? And we're not going to go into UFC stuff here, but you know, one of the guys that was fighting this week transitioned from being a Twitch streamer, whatever that means, whatever his level was and viewership was, into professional fighting. And Michael Bisping made such a... It was a guy who lost to your boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Bisping made such a big deal out of saying, he's like, I don't want all these Twitch streamers to think the wrong thing. You can't just start training and come in here and be a fighter. It is the difference between esports and actual sports. And I was like, we know that, Michael, you blind SOB.
Yeah, I mean, Bisping is yeah, whatever. The guy clearly could, because you know what, you wouldn't make it to the UFC if you were terrible, right?
Absolutely not. And he was actually on a winning streak there. He had won his last 2 fights, I believe. But what does Michael Bisping know? He's got one eye, man.
Yeah, people with one eye can't trust him.
No. And we apologize to anyone in our population of viewership who has one eye. We weren't talking about...
have one eye.
We weren't...
I'm just waiting to get a DM from Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
I liked you guys until you made fun of people with one eye, and now I can't support it. Next, I know you guys don't like wrestlers.
Sponsorship was in the mail, man. It was in the mail. Like, Bisping, you can't actually mail a sponsorship.
But we will take the check that you were sending.
Yeah. I am doing bad, man. I'm doing bad like I was doing.
You can't say I that many times. Bisping's gonna get offended.
Dude, I'm doing bad like I was doing when I was about to throw my computer in that instance that didn't happen in the X-Files.
The X-Files.
Uh-oh. Wait. Okay.
We were going down a road there. Where were we going?
I don't know, man, but I almost went on a tangent. Like,
you wanted to go into, you want to get heavily into.
Oh, right. So here's the thing about the esports thing, right? I'm gonna make a full push campaign in my everyday social life to prove that you can do this at any age, man. How old is Doc, dude? How old do you think that guy is?
32, 33.
Oh, okay, never mind. I am quitting the channel, and this is obviously not for me. I'm dead.
So, like, the average pro gamer retires at younger than my age currently. They retire at about 22.
Dude, I'm a little late to the party on this one. Man, I wish I would have wrote the guy's name down. I was driving when I was listening to it, but apparently, so not in response, but I would say byproduct of Ninja getting the Mixer deal. A streamer just got an exclusive deal with Twitch to stream with them for some double-digit amount of millions of dollars. And I was like,
really?
Yeah. I was looking at the video the other day, and you know, it's great for the type of market that's being developed. What do you think about that? Like, if it's heading in that direction where people are like, okay, we got to start locking these guys down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, man. My thought is that I think streaming is here to stay, but the people who are big now are going to get leapfrogged in 2 years. You know, Ninja was huge. That's awesome. The guy who replaces Ninja is going to be 10 times the size of any celebrity right now, right? Ninja can't go places without being recognized. That's cool. The next person is going to have to go into hiding the same way Tom Cruise does.
Nice.
That's the way it's going to be, I think. So, yeah, cool, but it's going to be due to an exclusivity, you know, and I still think it's going to be PewDiePie. I don't know if you know who PewDiePie is.
I've heard you mention the name a few times.
He is, I don't watch his content. Let's be fair. You know, it has matured over the years, but it was, for the longest time, you know, child-centric, because he saw a market the same way Ninja did, with being PG and playing Fortnite, and he went with it. So,
right.
But he has 100 million subscribers on YouTube.
Holy smokes.
He's the most subscribed single player on YouTube.
Right.
He's enormous. He is the mecca. He's also the reason why YouTube lost all those ad sponsorships, and he did a bunch of things, but...
Oh, is this the guy that used the N-word with the hard R?
Maybe? I don't know. It was...
Okay.
The last one that I knew was some, like, Nazi-esque thing.
What does Nazi-esque mean? Exactly.
I think he made, like, a off-color joke, and then someone, like, photoshopped him into, like, an SS outfit.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, PewDiePie out of the country is maybe the biggest star in the world. He's so big. But in the US, like, as far as at least esports or online entertainment, Ninja is that guy, clearly. The man shows up to cons in a tour bus. So, that's pretty baller. But the next person who is bigger than... Anyway, yeah, I just think that it's going to be due to an exclusivity, and good. Make your money. That's where I was going with that.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's very reminiscent of what you've seen with early skating back in the day. Bunch of guys taking advantage of people who didn't understand their value for what they were doing. And even though these guys have scratched surface and made very good livings, I'm not saying that greed is the motivator, but it's like, hey, man, if I can control my destiny in this regard and I can control my own brand, why wouldn't I? Right?
Exactly. So in League of Legends, right, I still think at this point League of Legends is the biggest game in the world.
Right.
Bigger than Fortnite, bigger than, you know, any other thing. One of the star players, Bjergsen, plays for a team called TSM, or Team Solo Mid. He just re-signed with his organization, but it was so hard for them to get him to re-sign. They had to offer him a portion of the company for him to re-sign.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there, man.
He got what Connor wanted. Right? Connor wanted a portion of the UFC to fight. And they told him no. Bjergsen got that. It's huge. It's huge. And TSM's not a small company. It's not a small company at this point. It's massive. They have teams in every league, and you know, they're the most popular League of Legends team. Maybe minus maybe Team Liquid now, but for the long time they were the team. So for him to be able to do that, and he's played for him for a long time, and he's a really good player, but he's not the best in the world. For him to make that happen is incredible.
Yeah, you know what? When those type of opportunities are created, or you create those type of opportunities for yourself, you really do pave the way for the next guy to have that same type of, or similar. Yeah. I won't say same, right? But you make it possible.
So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different in esports than it is for like regular sports, because a lot of times your star player might be the owner of the team.
Right.
Right. So he has that. Plus, he's running the team. TSM was like that for a long time. Reginald was their mid laner plus their owner until he brought Bjergsen in to replace him, and then went on to lead the organization to do great things. So, you know, he made this opportunity for himself, and being able to own portion of the company and get a bigger stake in his future. He was already making $12 million a year. Let's put that out there. He was already making something like $12 million a year as his salary. But he re-signed another contract, and now he is a part owner of the company.
That's insane, man.
Where esports is heading. Yeah.
Yeah, it just blew my mind, because it's like, just think about it. There was a time when people were like, "This is a complete waste of time," right? And even
Absolutely.
when that
Some
kid
people still think that.
Oh, 100%. Even when that kid won that $3 million in the Fortnite tournament, like, there was always a scoff at the end of it. Like, oh, he won $3 million sitting in front of his computer. But it's like,
he was 16 years old, and he just made money that, you know, his parents probably couldn't make. He made $3 million in an outing. But that's not the thing that made him... Oh, come on, man. That was kind of brutal. That's not the thing that made him the most money. When he got back, his stream blew up, too. That's where you make your money in this. Yeah, tournaments are good, and tournaments, you know, pay the bills month to month. But if you can become a successful streamer, and we saw this from Shroud, you're going to make a boatload of money, and you're going to be able to do what you want, and you're going to go, I don't have to play in tournaments anymore. The placings don't matter.